Being a teacher is without a doubt one of the most important and influential careers on the planet, and can be extremely challenging at times. Both my parents are teachers, and if I were to say how many hours they worked a week, it would be whenever they weren't sleeping. There was marking of that day's work to be done, tomorrow's lessons plans to be completed, emails to be read, and continuously learning as the curriculum changes. Teachers spend over 30 hours a week with particular students, role modelling good behaviour, teaching curriculum, and sharing knowledge. Teaching is definitely a profession. Simply because, even outside these hours of students learning, we are expected to act as well-respected members of the community and are constantly being looked up to by the members of the next generation. The amount of times my mum has been greeted in our local shopping centre, anyone would have thought she was a celebrity, and in some minds, I guess she is. Being such an influential and vital role in a young person's life and putting in all the hard work and overtime is what makes teaching not only a profession, but also an imperative career. Apart from the idea that I will be changing students' lives, working with wonderful, caring people, and challenging myself in a hard-working profession, my biggest motivation for being a teacher would easily be my parents. I have wanted to be a teacher for as long as I could remember. Seeing my parents so content in their career choices and their lives makes me want to be able to have that for myself one day. Every night, sitting at the dinner table, my parents would share funny remarks or events that happened that day at school, and I would never get bored of listening to their stories. I cannot wait for when the time comes that I can come to my children and not only share anecdotes from my day, but live my life so positively and happily, knowing I made the right career choice and love what I do. I've been working with students for the past 3 years as a teacher aide and have been babysitting since I was about 13. I could not see myself in a profession that didn't involve working with or supporting children. I also have a genuine passion for helping others and love watching students grow into young adults and gain knowledge and wisdom along the way. Knowing that in some way I influence someone or help students accomplish their goals is why I want to be a teacher. I believe I have several strengths that would help me become a successful teacher. I find it easy to connect with children and build a good rapport with individuals. I feel as though I connect better with young people than I do any other age bracket. I think it is crucial for teachers to know students as individuals and how they learn to get the best possible results out of their schooling. I find children to be interesting, entertaining, and sometimes challenging to work with. I also think it is important to be open to different methods of teaching and that teachers have to be willing to learn and modify their strategies throughout their careers. I enjoy challenges and find it easy to adapt to difficult or modified tasks, another strength I would bring to teaching. I consider myself respectful of others, I show initiative and act professionally in and out of the workplace. Being respectful is also knowing how to be patient and tolerant of others, which is important in the teaching profession. Working with children can definitely test your patience, whether it is poor behavioural choices or teaching the same topic to a certain student for what seems like the 50th time. Growing up with 3 younger brothers and working with students for the past 3 years has taught me how to be tolerant of others and how to stay persistent and resilient, which I will further use these skills when working with children. I aspire to be a well-respected teacher whose students remember in the future as one of their favourite or most influential teachers. My goal entering this profession is to help shape young people into independent and intelligent members of society. I also want to be able to help students discover endless possibilities, develop beliefs that lead them to fulfilling their dreams, and gain positive attitudes and outlooks on life. Observing the teachers I had as mentors during my schooling has shown me the many different qualities and strategies teachers acquire during their work and which of these are successful for particular students. Seeing how these teachers work and the passion they have for their job and their children has influenced my idea of the teacher identity I want to achieve during my career. My ideal teacher identity is a well-motivated, highly respected individual who strives to make a difference in the lives of the next generation. An important aspect of being a teacher is being able to adapt and familiarising yourself with new or modified teaching strategies and the curriculum to hence plan your lessons for. A strategy that stood out for me is the Australian Professional Standards for Teachers, as it is a scheme that aims to provide the best outcome for students as individuals and their physical, social and intellectual development. These standards illustrate the professional knowledge, practice and engagement required of a teacher. It is all about knowing the students and content and being able to implement this and provide feedback for within the classroom, as well as engaging professionally with students, colleagues and the wider community. Being familiar with these standards and learning how to implement them is beneficial for me, as I think they will help me reach my full potential of being the best teacher I can be. The responsibilities I acquire before I start my professional experience include being familiar with all codes required of teachers to follow, such as the Code of Conduct, Student Protection and Workplace Health and Safety regulations, as well as the Professional Experience Booklet. It is important for me to call ahead the teacher I will be working with during my placement or meet with them face to face to learn my way around the school, where to park, expected arrival and departure times, the dress code, and the current unit focus being taught in the classroom. It is also important for me to be familiar with the students I will be working with and who might need extra support in certain learning areas. I can achieve this by asking the classroom teacher for a class list and learning the students' names prior to my placement. During my professional experience, it is essential for me to show initiative, accept any responsibilities or opportunities given, and immerse myself in the life of being a teacher by learning how the school works and understanding what it is like to be in this profession. It is also important that I dress and act appropriately by showing full commitment and confidentiality and keeping my personal appearance professional and practical. A successful prac will demonstrate I have learned to engage professionally in teaching and gain the knowledge and skills to plan and implement lessons within a classroom. This will be achieved by seeking regular feedback from my mentor and collaboratively planning with him or her rather than simply copying everything from this teacher's program. I must also learn how to establish and nurture positive relationships with students and staff and try a different range of different teaching and behaviour management strategies throughout my placement. By successfully interacting professionally and appropriately with students, I must be familiar with the rules and regulations of the Student Protection and the Code of Conduct before starting my prac. The Department of Education, 2018, states that we as teachers are committed to providing safe, supportive and disciplined learning environments, preventing reasonable foreseeable harm to students. This also includes responding to or reporting reasonable suspects or risk of harm to students. This ensures that all students feel safe whilst at school and in the care of us adults. I will implement these regulations by treating everyone with respect and helping students to learn to respect themselves, others and belongings, as well as accepting responsibility for their actions. During my professional experience, it is important that I understand that I have no authority to stipulate teaching roles, learning area focus, or the amount of teaching I participate in. I am allowed and welcome to make suggestions, however, I must not override my mentor's decisions and accept the teacher's life to work around and that not every day will be a normal day. This means I should reflect on positive and negative outcomes, but not judge my mentor on his or her teaching ability. It is also vital for me to take on board any feedback provided by my mentor to improve, build on or modify any strategies used within the classroom. It is important that I keep notes and reflect after each lesson that worked well and what didn't work so well. I must then utilise these lesson reviews and act on them in my future lesson plans and in hope of developing essential teaching skills to be a successful teacher in the future. I'm really looking forward to my placement.